like I'm 38, you know. I mean, I'm kind of a late bloomer, so I'm kind of maybe like 32 really, but I'm also like an old soul, so I guess I'm actually like, I'm back at 38. But
It was a quick trip.
yeah, sorry, it was.
Yeah.
But, you know, I grew up in a time like, you know, a lot of our fathers and my friends' fathers, like, you know, they got divorces, they went for like younger women, or they, you know, they gave into this idea that they could have it all, you know. You know, I saw my mother not, you know, have to work hard and not get a kiss on her forehead before bed. You know, like she always had to be the one giving out any affection in our house. You know, I noticed that, you know, there's a lot of men my age who, it's not about the fight. There's nothing for us to do. You can't reprimand your children anymore. You can't fight anymore. It's more about lawyers. It's like, I just feel like there's a lot of men arriving at a point in their lives where they're like, what is it? Is there any value in me even being a man? And like our fathers were in wars, and our fathers were in military, and there was some, you know, I was an American, but I feel like there's this aimless kind of, there's a lot of men wandering around aimlessly.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of confusion too,
but they're listening to you.
Yeah, well, men,
they're finding you.
Yes.
And like, it's like you're like this cool stepdad that showed up that actually like cares about our mom or something. Like, you know,
that's a good one,
not
man.
to put a pressure on you.
No, that's a good one.
But
that's a good one.
I'm noticing from some of my like esteemed friends, men that are way smarter than me, and men that have bigger hearts than me, and they're reaching out to me. They're so excited. They're like, "Oh, you have Jordan coming in today. You know, he touches me. Like they feel connection."
Yeah, well, I'm actually, as I said, I'm actually thrilled. And when, you know, and all sorts of people are coming up to me after the talks and on the streets and so forth and saying it. And a fair number of them are guys, often younger, but not always. And, you know, they want to come up and tell me something good that they've done. And I'm thrilled about it. It's like, good, man, get out there, kill it.
Yeah.
And the idea, like, because part of what's happened in the dialogue in our culture is that masculine responsibility, the willingness to shoulder responsibility, which is part of what factors into achievement and ambition. It's really the part of it that's only positive, is being confused with tyranny and oppression, and so that men are, in large part, being punished for their best impulses.
Right.
Like, you want to get out there and like do something. It's like, well, doing things wrecks the earth. Right. It's like, well, the earth is wrecking us, so it's only just that we defend ourselves a little bit. Yeah. But it's also just wrong. It's like that willingness to go out there and contend with the world, to go on your adventure, right, and to take the risks, and the entrepreneurial risks, and the risks of discipline, and the risks of responsibility, and to buttress and support the family system and the community system. That's all incredibly laudable. But for me, it's more than that, because I think of it as a bulwark against hell. And I mean that both literally and metaphysically. It's like, it's actually vital that you take your place in the world and you find a meaningful, responsible path forward, because it's in that pathway that you find the meaning in your life, and that buttresses you against the catastrophe of life. And if you don't have that, you have the aimlessness and the suffering and the pointlessness and your own malevolence and bitterness. It's hell. Yeah. And then you make hell for you, and you make hell for your family, and you make hell for the community. It's like, none of that's good. And so whenever I see people step away from that and they're moving forward and they're telling me about it, I really think, great, that's a miracle, man. Keep it up. Like, it's really important. And I don't care what you're doing. You know, and I have lots of respect for working class guys. I mean, I came from a little town. I've had all sorts of working class jobs. You know, I worked as a short order cook, and I worked as a bartender in a rough cowboy bar, a couple of them. I worked as a drill bit retipper and a gas jockey, and I worked on a rail crew putting railway lines through, and worked as a beekeeper and then plywood mill, lots and lots of jobs like that. And, you know, and I've renovated houses, and so I've worked with lots of contractors and so forth. And I think working class guys, the whole bloody world rests on their shoulders. It really matters if they do a good job. And so a lot of working class guys come to my shows and they say, look, I've been listening to your lectures while I'm doing long haul trucking, or while I'm working in my forklift, whatever. I think, great, man, get the hell at it. Do your job properly. Do it. You bet. And do it right. Support your family. Man the hell up. Live a responsible life. And what you're doing is valuable. I don't care what anyone else has to say.
Thank you guys for checking out this clip. And if you want to see another clip, then you can look at this clip or this clip. Either one of these. So did you pick one, or are you still just watching me do this? Because this is alarming.